What's up, guys? Today we will be starting a brand new series. I've wanted to do this for a while, so we're finally doing it. We will be building the longest rated level in Geometry Dash. From what I know, currently the longest level is The Long Walk Home, which is about 11 minutes long, so a pretty long walk, I would say. And yeah, I'm pretty sure no level longer than this has been rated yet. So the time to beat is a little over 11 minutes, so we're going to make this level a little over 12 minutes. And in this episode, we will be doing the layout of the first 2 minutes of the level. This series will take a while to finish, so if you want to find out how this level turns out in the end, subscribe to my channel. Anyways, the song being used is called An Interstellar Game of Connect the Dots. So without further ado, let's begin building, shall we? So for the first part of this level, I really wanted to keep this gameplay nice and simple to go with the slow pace of the song, like very few inputs. In fact, there aren't even any inputs now. This is just an intro where the cube like bounces around. So here we finally start to get into some gameplay, but as you can see, these pillars are very long, meaning there are few inputs, which is pretty much going to be what this is like for the first minute or so of the level, just a slow-paced cube. But we start to pick it up a little bit, adding more orbs and a few gimmicks and stuff. I'd say it's pretty cool. Wow, so my first time making a long-form video and already OBS is playing tricks on me. OBS like corrupted a recording of the next like 45 seconds of the level, so I don't really have any footage of that anymore that I can show. But here are some pretty cool parts, like these two gimmicks in the slope part. I think they were pretty cool, so I'm just mentioning them, and the rest of the level I guess you'll just see in the showcase. So anyways, let's go back to the time lapse. Okay, so after skipping through all of that corrupted footage that I can show, we are now 1 minute into the level, meaning a change of game mode and speed. So now we are doing a faster paced UFO with a crap ton of clicks, like a whole lot. Like sort of like clicking to every single note, honestly. But I did have to make a few breaks in there since we're not going for an extreme demon here, so yeah. Anyways, then we go into a mini UFO, which is gonna be pretty tight, but it's in slow speed, and it should be pretty easy still. And to finish off this UFO part, I added some spike pillars so that we could see where we were going in this final part, and that's about it for now. Alright, I am back from the time lapse, and the layout is now 2 minutes long. So, I did stop the time-lapse at this UFO section. So, after the UFO, I built this section where it switches between the ball and spider, which I think it's pretty cool. I like this section where it keeps going up and down here. And, yeah, so after that, I did build this ship section with a ton of orbs as the song was getting a lot slower and, like, had more intense notes, so that's where all the orbs come from, like, and the orbs, there's probably a bow, bow, bow. Yeah, something like that. And just for the part before the drop, I did a very simple cube part, so, yeah, and that's about it, so, but, one more thing for this level, like, this structuring sucks, like, it really needs fixing. Like, look at this UFO part, it's just portals and orbs. So we're going to go back into another time lapse, do some structuring, and put my lazy ass to work. Okay, so we are done with the layout, but as you saw, it was very empty. So we're going to go back through each part and like fill it in with structuring to make it look better for when I actually decorate it. So yeah, here the song is actually like very calm and serene. It like reminds me of like floating in space and stuff, so this part of the level is gonna be like very empty. So just simple structuring, like stuff like pillars on top, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot of space in this first minute. Oh, so for this slope part, it actually took me a while because I had to go back and fix a lot of stuff because it kept on bugging the gameplay whenever I like extended some of the slopes structures, especially like in some of the more gimmicky parts like I showed you. So for this UFO part, I decided to try and like put this beam thing to connect all of the like spikes on top first, but I ended up deleting that later. And yeah, as you can see, the structuring starts to get a lot more cramped, like instead of being empty, since the song is starting to pick up a lot more. And yeah, so yeah, as you can see, this is like a similar structure on the left, but instead of like having a beam connect, I did that thing, which I would end up doing something similar for the other structure. And yeah, for this part, I just like fixed all of these structures up, added a few things to make sure you can't skip anything, and added some saw blades and stuff. So now for the ball part, which I think is really cool, by the way, probably one of my favorite parts of the level. So here, honestly, I just fixed some of these structures up, and one part I actually had to like fix because one thing was skippable, so yeah, I'll show that in the showcase later. And then for the spider part, pretty much the same thing, same old saw blades, making sure the structures are like full, and yeah. Okay, now we are on to the ship part. And for this first part of the ship, I decided to make it so that the structures like lean toward you, hence these slopes on like the edge, both facing like left towards the player. And hey, I added a club step monster in this part, it's nice. So for the second part of the ship, I decided to make it so that when it's closer to the bottom of the structure, it's like wider, but as you go to the top, like certain parts start to like get more narrow until near the top you're like at the most narrow point of the structure, whether it be like 1 or 2 blocks. And yeah, then I just fixed this part up, added some smaller saw blades because the bigger ones were interfering with the actual structure. And yeah, and this is the final structure I have to edit. Like, this is the 2-minute mark of the level. So yeah, here you can see I'm adding stuff in, the corner pieces, and then the spikes. And then after that, only a few more fixes and the level will be done. So for some final touches to this level, I decided to add some indicators to the UFO part and some ground spikes to the ball and ship parts. And with that, we are done with this part of the layout. So all that's left to do is showcase it. So enjoy! And with that, we are done. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to geometrically dominate that like and subscribe button. This is my first experience with making long form content, so I hope you enjoyed the first of many videos of me making the new longest level in geometry. Wait, what the hell is Larga Espera? Why do I even try anymore?